Hey, a prep shop from Lidl. I only went in there to get a couple of bits. Do you know what the bastards have done? They've gone and they've gotten rid of all of the original um, baskets, if you like, and turned them into little mini trolleys. So all of this stuff, all of that, fitted into one of the baskets, little baskets that you pull along. Clever bastards, aren't they? Eh? They had me. The bastards. Um, right, let's get into it. So I've started buying a few gifts for a few people. Someone's daughter, their son, and the mum. I've got a few other bits to get for a few other people. I'm trying to just start getting things in now because we just look. We're preppers, you know. We don't know. Tomorrow there could be a complete and total halt on anything coming into the country, um, transport, fuel. You know, everything could come to a grinding halt. This is why we prepared. One of the reasons, one of many. So I just like to get things in early. I mean, I've known people that have gone out in the January sales and bought a shitload of toys and stuff at a fraction of the cost, and then wrapped them up and stuck them up in the loft ready for the following Christmas, and they've saved a fortune. So yeah, I got some like battery operated candles, so everlasting candles, and I bought a set of. That's the point. I don't know where they've gone. Yeah, I've probably left them there. I have to go back and get some more. I bought some rechargeable batteries, and I've got a spare battery charger that will recharge the batteries that go in that. So a few toys in that. This is an alternative way of, because I have dehydrated meat, chicken and beef, but I've forgotten what tubs they're in. But they're very, very secure. So if anything did go funny or wrong, it's not going to affect any of the other food that's in those tubs. But I'm a lot more organised now. 2020, it was just get as much as I possibly could, you know, and then I continued to do that over and over and over. But yeah, I am gradually getting more and more organised. I'm on track. So this is just another way of preserving meat. Really, it's you don't really get much for your money. To be fair, it's because of the processes that it's gone through. And yeah, I mean, there's the ingredients list. It doesn't look bad, you know. And the date on it is, so you get 65 grams, and the date is April 2026. So it's a handy thing to put your hands on if you need to get some brain food in you know, some meat. And if you boil this up for long enough in a stew or something, it would reconstitute and add an extra flavour to a stew, you know. So I wouldn't eat this on its own. I've tried it on its own, beef jerky, and it's not really my thing. But in a stew or something like that, yeah, no problem. And you know, again, it's a source of protein. So that's a first for me prepping. I am working my way through a lot of these jars of curries. I've got probably about, I think I've got about 3 left of these now that I will work my way through. It's not a problem, and they're all sort of 2023. So I've just restocked up on the ones that I've used because I think the dates on these are 2025. Yeah, you can't really make it out. Yeah, just take my word for it. It's mid 2025 and they're all the same. So there's a bit of a variety there. Abuna was my first introduction to curry. I'd never tried a curry until I was 33, 34. I was a late comer to the table because it looked like baby shit, you know? I thought, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that. It looks gross and it stinks. And then I had a chicken tikka boona, and that was it. Sold. I started making my own curries then. But these are just handy, you know. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a selection there going on. I have bought some long life semi-skim milk, even after me slating it, because it is shit for you. But it's just there as a backup, just an emergency milk supply, really. I've got myself some biscuits. You've got to have some treats, and these are a fraction of the cost of McVitie's. I've topped up on some more of these tomato puree tubes because the dates are fantastic on them, and they can go way past the best before date. And I know of people that are choosing to use this for their children instead of ketchup. And I use a lot of it in my bread, making my own pizzas and adding it into dishes. It's multi-purpose. You can't go wrong with it. I bought 3 more onions after the back of using those dehydrated onions in that dish in the last cooking video. I realised how practical that was, because it's the first time I've opened a dehydrated onion pouch, you know, especially from like 2 years ago. And it's the first time I've cooked it up and eaten it. And yeah, I thought, yeah, it worked. It was good. It was good. So I'll be chopping them up and dehydrating all 3 of those onions for further down the line. I've got some more granulated sugar because I'm looking to start making my own jams next year. And this is good for that. Jams and rice pudding, that's about it. But I am still continuing to buy good quality sugar as well, because it's got a lot more vitamins and it's natural molasses content in there. It's a lot better for you. So I've got one of them, and then a light brown soft cane sugar as well, which is again better for you. Another packet of biscuits. I think these are a rip-off of Hobnobs, you know, but again, a fraction of the cost. I'll go through the stuff at the back first. I've got some more olive oil, but it's in one of those plastic containers, but it is extra virgin. It's all I use. I only fry stuff up now in olive oil and coconut oil. Or, I mean, lard, no, not really. I just use that for frying my chips. That's it. So it's just this and coconut oil, because they're both exceptionally good for you. I've got a couple of tins of beans. I normally only buy Kerrygold butter because of its reputation. It's not been fucked about with. But this isn't bad. It's quite nice. It's a bit pricey, but it's not bad. I only use butter for my toast. I don't really have any of that spreadable nonsense. I only eat organic eggs as well. Got to be organic. And the amount of red tape you've got to go through to label your eggs as organic is unbelievable. So you know that you are getting decent eggs. I normally get them from the farm shop, but because they were in there, I just picked up another box because I go through a lot of them. They're full of really good cholesterol. Very good. It's a superfood. This is why these bastards want you to register your hens, so they can eventually try and take them off you. And with that, your organic egg supply. So fuck them. I've got some meals in a can. So I've got a hot chicken curry, which again, that can be mellowed down with coconut milk and a few other bits and bobs, that just to, you know, cool it down and water it down, and then just add a bit of extra seasoning if you need to make that go a little bit further, you know, for a family of 4. When I was talking about canned steak, beef steak, that was what I meant. It is quite expensive now. I can remember it was like just under a couple of quid. Now it's 2-3 quid. It's gone right up. But again, you can make curries out of this, stews out of it, and it will just keep for a very, very, very long time. And another ideal way of storing meat long term. just like your beef jerky. A couple of tins of tomatoes, 2 chunky soups. So again, a meal in a can that can be eaten hot or cold. Macaroni cheese. I don't know why I keep buying this because it's so easy to make your own. And I've got a shitload of pasta. But again, it's just something that can just be opened, cracked opened, and just eaten out the can. I've got some mayonnaise. Another good suggestion for storing meat long term, chicken in white sauce. I've never actually tried this. Yeah, I've got about, I don't know, 20 tins of it, something like that. So I need to I'll maybe come up with something for that. Yeah, leave it with me and it will be good. It'll be a good one. I've got a mild chicken curry down there as well. 2 more tubs of coconut oil. I've said before and I'll say it again. You can't have enough of this stuff in because it will last. It just lasts and lasts and lasts. Unlike your olive oil, which will eventually go rancid. And yeah, it's good for all sorts of stuff, especially massages. Sweet chili dipping sauce. I do go through this. You know, your ramen noodles, they're not very good for you, but they're ideal for storage because they just keep for years. You know, the packaging will probably give out before the actual ramen noodles do, and the sachet that comes with it sure as shit will. So you cook up some noodles and then just tip some of that in there and stir it all in with some stir-fried leaves that you've got from your garden or whatever. You know, some nettles, dandelion leaves, stuff like that. Mix them in there, and it's nice. And the amount of sugar that's in there means that it's almost a forever food when it's unopened. So I've got 2 of them. I've got some more apple cider, organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. Even though I'm making my own, I've got 3 going on. And then all of that is apple cider vinegar as well, because I use it every single day. I have a glass, not straight out of the bottle. That'll make your tabs laugh. But yeah, you know, kind of that much in the bottom of a tumbler glass, and then top it up with filtered water. And I have one of them every morning and then every night for gut health. It's great for gut health and it's cheap. And you can make it yourself. It's ridiculously easy. I've got some more dried yeast because I like to make sure I've got enough of that in for making my bread. I've got some bananas, some fun-sized bananas that are a little bit green because I've still got some tomatoes that need to ripen. And they do the trick, they do the job, and they do it well. And I prefer my bananas when they're kind of a little bit past their, you know, when the skin, when it looks like someone's just spray painted it with black paint, so it's almost falling apart. I like them like that. I've got a massive tub of mushrooms. They're all going to be topped up and dehydrated and then vac packed and put away because I've used quite a few of my old ones up. And again, I'm happy with the way that's worked out. A dehydrator is an absolute must for prepping because none of us can afford a freeze drying machine. Not really. Even a cheap second-hand one, you're looking at 2-3 grand minimum, and the price is only going to go up with demand the more people start prepping. Got some more chilies. I'm not going to be pickling any of these. I'll be using these fresh and then saving the seeds ready to plant next year, so I don't have to buy any. No point in buying seeds if you've already got them. And you know, and the seeds are something you just scoop out. Some people like to, because the seeds are really good for you, believe it or not. Look it up. So yeah, there's no point in buying seeds if you've already got stuff that you can use the seeds from, including your tomatoes. I'll be drinking that shortly. I can't stand avocado, but that mixed all in together, I'll smash through that in a bit after I've had a giant cup of tea. I was a bit miffed that I didn't have any cashew nuts to put in that last curry, that madras. So I've got stocked up on them. This wasn't a cheap shop. I've got to admit, when I went in there, I didn't intend to buy half of what I've got here. And so when I got to the checkout, but even when I was putting stuff and looking at the prices and putting stuff in the basket, I was thinking, I'm sure this has gone up even more. It's just going up and up and up and up. It's madness. This is why, you know, a lot of us were quite lucky to start prepping when we did, when the prices were low, you know. So my heart goes out to people that are just starting out now. But it's not too late, and just think it through. I got some smoked paprika, my favourite spice. It's like a chicken seasoning type thing. Cayenne pepper for a bit of extra spice. I got some firelighters. Look at the size of these boxes of firelighters. Look how small they are. Now the price they charge for these firelighters is the same price that they charge for the ones that were a third bigger. You know? Always trying to find ways of trying to rip us off. I finally found some quinoa that I can cook myself. The ones that come in the pouches have gone through a process. They are processed to some degree. The ones that are pre-cooked in a pouch that you just pour out and heat up. And they've probably been cooked in the opposite of filtered, clean, healthy water as well. So I'm glad I've got 3 bags of that because I do like quinoa. Right. I've heard a few other preppers saying tuna. Now, tuna is a massive, massive fish, right? The way that they're caught, the way that they're processed. I've seen videos on what they do to add colour to tuna steaks, artificially, and it's just, I'm not buying any more tuna. I've still got some in cans. I've still got quite a few cans of the stuff, but I won't be buying any more. So no more tuna for me. And again, it'll be really, really heavy in heavy metals because of the size of the fish. And so that's why I'm going to continue to go down this route now, because not only is it better for you, I did mention in a previous video, because they're smaller fish, they take on less heavy metals. So it's a healthier fish. So and there's a massive variety now. So I bought some wild Pacific pink salmon. You know, whether it's from the Pacific or not, I don't know. I mean, if it says it on the can, I suppose it has to be. But there are salmon farms, and they add artificial pinkness to the salmon to make it look more saleable. You know, we just got to be so careful, because we don't even know what are in these shitty dyes either. So on top of the fact that it's been proven that both these types of fish improve in not only in flavour but in the nutritional value as well, the more they age. But again, the thought of me tucking into any of this, it instantly triggers my gag reflex. But eventually, I'm probably going to have to start smashing my way through this. But I've heard of certain people that couldn't stand fish either and have found a way. And they've had to kind of just do it bit by bit, and they build up a tolerance for it. And now they're okay. And now they're getting a natural source of all of those essential amino acids and omega acids that are vital for cell health, you know. So there's sardines in tomato sauce, olive oil, sunflower oil, and spicy tomato sauce. And then the mackerel, I would recommend the mackerel over the sardines because of the oil content within the fish. It's one of the oiliest fish you can buy, and the oilier the better. So yeah, it comes in olive oil, sunflower oil, spring water, spicy tomato sauce, and sunflower oil. So a really, really wide variety of small fish there in a can that's still very, very affordable. So stock up on this, I'm telling you, because this is gold dust. I also bought these because they were just reduced and they're just convenient, you know. There is one thing that I've left off that I need to go into. Bear with me. Bear with. Oh, I'm sorry about the camera being all over the place. This is what happens when you've got one hand. Well, I've got two. Brazil nuts. Now, the average Brazil nut contains more than the recommended daily amount, so the RDA, of selenium, which is a powerful antioxidant, which boosts vitamin E, which is, again, in itself an antioxidant. So it's like an antioxidant on steroids. It can help to prevent cataracts, or if you've already been diagnosed with cataracts, it can slow it down significantly. It's also high in lecithin, which is an anti-inflammatory, which is more efficient and more effective than a standard dose of ibuprofen. I'd be very surprised if anyone knew that. I sure as shit didn't. There are some studies done regarding Alzheimer's, but they're quite inconclusive, really. It can help with arthritis and psoriasis and breast cancer as a prevention. Now, I'm assuming because of its anti-inflammatory properties, that's why it's good. It's good for prevention of breast cancer. I've not read the page yet. Again, look. Breast cancer, oh my God, I can't even read that. Please buy this book. Please buy this book. You know, I've been going through it and it's just been blowing my mind and blowing my mind and blowing my mind. We don't need any of this shit that they keep prescribing us. Right, so yeah, it's I can't believe all this fit into a trolley, into a little basket. So this is the price of everything. Again, it wasn't a cheap one. It stung. I stopped crying by the time I got back in the car. So that's it. Yeah, so Brazil nuts, and I've only just scratched the surface on Brazil nuts. I was going to do a bit more of a deep dive online because I know that there is definitely more. There are definitely more benefits to Brazil nuts. You need to eat a couple a day, especially for man health. Yeah, a couple a day, just 2 Brazil nuts a day, and yeah, do a little bit of research on Brazil nuts, and it'll blow your mind. So that's it. That concludes today's Lidl shop haul. Much love to you all. See you in the next one. Ciao for now.